It's nice to see you,
Good
Tena.
afternoon, Mwalimu.
Okay, I'm going to start my lesson for today. Before I start the lesson, I'm going to call the register to make sure that you're here. I'm going to start with Bernard Otambo,
Present, madam.
Otieno Anita, Anita, you're not in class.
Present.
Priska Chirchir,
Present.
okay. Mercy Chepkurui, Anita, please mute your microphone. Okay, thank you. I'm going to do a recap of the last session that we had to see if you remember what I taught. We talked about service of red wine. I would love you to mention some of the things that we talked about when serving wine. Priska, how many types of wines do you remember?
Okay, I remember the white wine,
Okay.
the red wine. Yeah.
Bernard, any other type of wine that you remember?
Sparkling wine,
Okay.
rosy wine,
Okay, that's good.
red wine.
Thank you, Bernard. I can see that you are attentive when I was teaching. Today's class, I'm going to talk about stocks. What is a stock? Is Mercy Jepkuru in class? Okay. Anita, please read the whatever is on the screen.
Mwalimu, I cannot see your screen.
You cannot see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, give me a minute. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. You can read whatever is on the screen, the definition of stock.
A stock is a well-flavored liquid formed by prolonged simmering of meats, bones, and vegetables.
Right. So when I talk about stocks, I'm going to talk about the ingredients that we are going to use when preparing stocks, and I'm going to also talk about one type of stock in specific. Can you mention some of the ingredients that I use to prepare stocks? We've been in the practical lessons and we've been adding stocks when preparing food, so I know you know some of the ingredients that we use when preparing stocks. Kawira, are you in class? Okay, Bernard, mention some of the ingredients, please.
We have onions.
Okay.
Then we have got bones. We have got other vegetables like leeks and celery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct. And we also have oil, salt. Yeah. So I'm going to move to the next slide. Okay, when preparing stocks also, they're different. Okay. Anita, you're raising your hand.
Yeah, Mwalimu, you're breaking.
I'm breaking. I'm not audible.
You're breaking.
What about now?
Like it's coming and then you're paused and then it's popping again.
Okay. If I break again, you notify me. Thank you for notifying me. Okay, I'm going to talk about the equipment that I use to prepare stocks. The equipment that I use to prepare stocks. One of them is conical strainer or chinois. A conical strainer is an equipment. Jeremiah, please mute your.
You're breaking again.
Please mute your. Okay, make sure that your microphones are muted, please. I was talking about equipment that I use to prepare stocks, and I have mentioned a conical strainer. We also have a colander. We also have a large saucepan, and of course, we use a wooden spoon to also make the when you're starting to prepare the stock. I'm also going to talk about straining. Let me move to the next slide. Before I move to the next slide, Kawira, are you in class? Anita?
Present.
Okay, Kawira, can you tell me something about straining?
Pardon the question, Mwalimu.
I'm saying you tell me something about straining. Then I want Otambo to tell me something about boiling. Then Anita, tell me something about simmering. In that order. Kawira, please.
Yes, Mwalimu.
You can't hear me? Okay, let me talk about straining. Straining is pouring a liquid through a porous or perforated material. When you're straining stock, I am going to talk about brown stock. When you're straining brown stock, you pass it through a conical strainer or a perforated, something like a sieve, to separate the liquid from the solid matter. Again, I'm going to talk about boiling. Boiling is the action of bringing a liquid to the temperature at which bubbles turn into vapor. When you're boiling something, you're exposing whatever you're boiling to a lot of heat so that it boils. And when something has boiled, it has bubbles. I'm going to talk about simmering. Simmering is a cooking method that brings the liquid of a dish to just below the boiling point of a low heat. When you're simmering something, you put very low heat so that the food or the meat softens. Okay, when simmering, there are the equipment that I used when simmering. We have a soup ladle, a waste pot, deep boiled spoon. Can you see this slide? Whatever is in this slide.
Yes, Mwalimu.
Whatever is in this slide is basically about roasting the ingredients that are used for making stock and the equipment that are used for making stock, and I've already mentioned them. I have said a soup ladle, a waste pot, large deep boiled spoon. When you're making stock, when you're simmering, you're exposing the stock to heat so that it boils for a long time and to give you the desirable stock that you need. Okay, this other slide, the correct equipments that are used for straining basic stock, I have already mentioned them. The colander, conical strainer, large saucepan, and chinois or sieve. And this other slide is now how to make beef stock. How we make beef stock, you have bones. Otambo has mentioned the ingredients, bones, the celery, there's leek. You can also have pokegani to put taste in the stock. There's also salt. And the equipment that I used, I have mentioned them: colander, conical strainer, large saucepan. And when you're making stock, before browning any bones for the stock, make sure that as much as the excess fat in the stock is removed so that the stock does not have oil. But if the stock has oil, you're going to, it's not simmering, you're going to strain. And when you're straining, you're going to use a soup ladle to strain the excess fat. Okay, that is the end of the lesson. And before I wind up the lesson, I would love to know if I was speaking and you are not listening or you've gotten something. So, any questions before I ask my question? Please give me feedback. Magdalene,
Yes, mwalimu.
do you people have any question?
No.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Mention some of the equipment that are used when making beef stock. Yes, Karithi? Otambo?
Conical strainer.
Yeah, correct. Otambo? Otambo, I'm waiting for your feedback.
We have a saucepan.
Uh-huh.
We have a chopping board for cutting vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
We have a sieve.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a wooden spoon.
Yeah, correct. Thank you for your time and thank you for the cooperation that you've shown. Have a nice evening and I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.